Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am your host, Saucy McFoodlefist, and today we are playing The Letter. I believe this is episode 9 of the series, so welcome back. In the last episode, we saw the ghost that is haunting the mansion. She came to us on the streets of Luxbourne, and she spooked us pretty bad, and then Becca came over to our house, made us feel better, and we fell asleep. So here we go. Sleep comes easier tonight. And for the first time in a long time, I dream of clear skies, of unrestrained laughter from children playing in the streets, and of small, cramped dwellings. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this is home to me. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Although the air still feels muggy and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those rare weekends where I allow myself to sleep in for the sake of sleeping in. The clock is flashing 9 a.m. when I open my eyes. Becca's already gone, likely to the library. She has a habit of keeping herself busy, even on a weekend. She did leave a note on my fridge reminding me to eat, along with a plate of breakfast on the counter. Really. She gets angry when I call her mom, but she goes ahead and does things like this. I flop back lazily in my bed. From my window, I can hear the world beginning to stir. I should too. There are still papers to organize, documents to sign and hand over tomorrow. Yet, just staring at a gloomy white ceiling like this, waking up alone, it's easy to be filled with the irrational need to go back to sleep. But I've got calls to make, people to check on, and good news to deliver. Blindly, I fumble for my phone on the nightstand and dial the number I've been itching to call since yesterday. It rings for a good while. I can already imagine Mama's startled face. She's probably cooking something for dinner right now. Knowing her, she'll turn off the stove first. Like she'll always remind me, wash her hands and wipe them thoroughly in her apron before picking up the phone. Small, striking habits I didn't know that I'll miss until I've stopped seeing them.
Hello? Santos residence?
Mama, how are you?
The usual pleasantries, questions about how small they're doing. Wait, what? The usual pleasantries, questions about how they're doing, how life's going on back home, bits and pieces, although small, helps form a vague picture of things I've missed in my mind. EJ's excited voice resounds from the other end, and I smile to myself.
What about you? Are you eating well?
You asked that a few days ago, but yeah. And, Mama, I've got something to tell you.
Oh no, you're not pregnant, are you?
Yep, we're having a baby.
What? No! Mama, stop making jokes like that.
This is a serious question, Grace. I've been looking at your face nook.
Face nook. That's cute.
Who is this Ashton? Are you pregnant?
Yep, we're having Ashton's baby.
Who? Ash? No, no, no! Oh, good heavens! It isn't like that! We aren't like that! No one's pregnant, Mama!
Well then stop stalling. You're making me nervous, Grace.
So very like Mama to jump to conclusions like that. And against my better judgment, I laugh. Light and surprisingly easier now that the heavy weight has lifted. Mama's clicking her tongue on the other end, impatient by the delay. I want to hug her.
Remember the house? We got a buyer yesterday. I'll be able to send a remittance soon.
Even with hundreds of miles separating us right now, her relief is palpable. The tired lilt in her voice is still there, but it's fading. Perhaps not now, but maybe in the near future. When Papa's well and distance is not a problem.
The buyer gave us a bonus, too. I can send that early while we're waiting to finalize things, because that might take a few days. And then there's...
Grace, stop.
Yes, Mama?
It's okay. Keep it to yourself. You don't have to send everything.
Don't worry. I've got enough here. You taught me how to budget properly, didn't you?
Don't you want to buy something for yourself? Or for your friend? Rebecca, was it?
Rebecca will complain, Mama.
Then tell her it's from me, as thanks for taking care of my stubborn daughter.
You both sound so alike. But I will. Thanks, Mama.
The call goes longer than usual, and when we hang up after goodbyes and I love yous have been said, the day appears brighter in my eyes. Aw, that's kind of sweet. There are no half-truths and empty promises this time. Light streams through my open windows, the world is fully awake, and last vestiges of sleep has faded from my eyes. Maybe a walk is good. I need to visit the grocery too. Come to think of it, wasn't there an art store that opened recently near the park? The cat's name is Baruthiel? Or at least that's what the caller says. It's an odd name to give a cat, in my opinion. But it speaks such grace like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes his tail and his eyes follow my hand's every movement. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I wasn't the very picture of grace when he found me, after all. Okay, so apparently we just found a cat, and it kind of just jumped into that. That was weird. It was a bad idea, carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help for a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought all these at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park. And now I'm suffering underneath the glaring sun, hunched up upon a park bench and drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but at home, they're all considered ill omens.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life, of course. Growing up with the rowdy younger brothers and sister does that. Or maybe it's the opposite. Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Well, graceful or not, there's no use for moping. A short breather and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite or crosses my path.
Where's your owner, anyway?
He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what collars are for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped on one of his paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before, a cat. Not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put it in my mouth, he meows. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out to him warily. He sniffs it once, twice, before...
Ruthia!
Like a good, properly trained pet, Baruthiel responds as he is called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCall is hard to miss, or should I say Macaw, with her height.
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you? Oh, it's you.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Baruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Baruthiel's a she.
Oh, sorry. She. All this time, I thought. The pause in the conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely 2 people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, a meeting like this happens a lot. Meetings like this don't happen a lot, and if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Still, trying to be friendly wouldn't hurt, right? Let's talk about her job.
I'm just curious about your work.
What about it?
There was something guarded in her expression at the mention of work, but I pushed through with my question.
I I just want to know how it is to work on a house like the Ermengarde mansion. Is it hard?
I guess she wasn't expecting a question like that. If the way her eyebrows shot up tells me something.
Because of its age? I wouldn't say it is. It is a challenge, considering the factors me and my team have to sort out. But it's a good project. A breath of fresh air from what I usually work on. And I have a good team. Those original fittings, though. It might be old, but the architecture is magnificent. I'm sure you've seen the stained glass windows in the foyer. Oh, I can already think of so many things I could do with it.
See, it is foyer, not foyer. Foyer, anyway.
But of course, my team will have to double check for necessary repairs here and there. That's probably for the best. It's easy to break some key elements with a rush restoration job, and who knows what other hidden issues there might be underneath. People can be so careless. I'm sorry, I spoke too much.
No, it's okay. You seem to really love what you're doing.
It's not really like that. I'm just lucky to have found work in an interesting field. Anyway, Bruthiel's due for her visit to the vet. Nice talking to you, Miss Santos. I wish you luck with what you're planning to work on. It seems like a big project, too.
She gestures with her head towards the bags, the ones filled with stuff I've recently bought from the art store.
It's a project for a friend, actually.
All the same. Good luck.
I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she's forgotten to say.
By the way, about the Ermengarde mansion. With my clients, it's the rights, I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion. The
letter, the same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCullough that the urban legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. She's not going to believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
I hasten to pick up all the bags I've left on the bench and ran as far as my legs can take me. In that moment, when I'm carrying in my hands weighs far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to go home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house, of her, of my own cowardice. The food tastes less appetizing tonight. A pity. One would think that someone who has been on a conscious binge of instant noodles would find a home-cooked meal enjoyable, but it isn't. Hunger isn't what is gnawing at me tonight, neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background, but what it says barely registers in my brain. It's hard when things you're trying to forget keep returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you, eats at you, devours you. I wish this would stop. I wish I wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home yesterday evening. Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Huh?
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33 years old, working as a real estate agent.
Oh my god. What? Rose is dead? Rose?
Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
No. Okay, I am genuinely shocked. I totally did not expect this to happen. No. This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. Oh my god, yes, finally something good happens. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends. That's what everyone has kept telling me, so why? And I immediately I rush to my study table in search of my phone. My hand, cold from dread, clings tightly to it as soon as I touch its edges. A piece of folded paper The letter, lying unassumingly beside it, slips to the floor when I pick up the device. I pay it no mind. There are more important things. Right now, I need to call her. I need to call her. I was with her. I was just with her not too long ago, and she was okay. No, isn't that what everyone says when someone dies, though? Oh, we were just together. No! 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 It isn't Rose, I'm sure of it. I just talked to her, and a sob escapes me, and hot tears begin to blur my vision. Excuse me. One after another, they trickle down, weighted by the very same guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. The same one I've been hiding from. The same one that has put the people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contacts list. She'll answer, right? She always does. She'll pick it up, tell me to turn down the waterworks and call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Again and again I dial, whispering, praying, pleading.
Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxborn in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
The TV runs loudly in the background. A deafening static sounds from my phone's speakers. But in my ears, I can only hear the screams. Her pleas. Her whispers. We are not safe. Alright, we are going to end the episode off here. What an ending. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this, give it a thumbs up, all that bullshit. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.